Okay. You there, Shaykh?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, folks. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, folks, we are just going to give a few minutes for some of the people to get in, inshallah. So just bear with me. Just so it's clear, if the team can make it clear that the audio and everything is working fine, and but you just need to play around with your settings. Okay. Okay, so we'll do that, and let me just bear with me, folks. And there is no password or anything linked, is there? To this name, there is no password to that.
No, it's just a click and you join straight.
Yeah, ठीक है. So again, we'll just give it a few seconds, inshallah. Everything, because like I said, is working very smooth, actually. And there's a reason that we did this. Normally, we would be doing this within Telegram. And for those who are joining us first time, there'll be a lot of folks that actually that are not used to Telegram, never used it before. And look, it's like everything that's new or something that you don't use, you always look down upon it. I'm fortunate in that I embraced Telegram a number of years ago, and actually one of the main reasons that now Hajj can only be done by Telegram is because I put so much pressure upon the various big Hajj service providers to go big on Telegram because of the infrastructure that it has, the ability to be able to present information, do webinars direct and live, to have a chat that's connected to Chrome. WhatsApp has been like 5 years behind. They've only now just joined with their community idea groups and all the rest of it. Like Telegram is miles ahead, light years ahead. And its functionality is fantastic. And this will be something that you will only realize later. So I know it can be frustrating now, just like everything new. Bear with it, okay? Trust the process. You'll see that that's our logo. Trust the process, but not just what I say, but everything about this. We have, mashallah, tabarak ar-Rahman, got this down to a T when it's the decisions to use bots, like this AI kind of based procedures and bots and things like that. When it comes to the companies that we use and that interact with, like every aspect is chosen after extensive testing, extensive feedback, extensive experience being involved in everything. Okay, folks. So again, we're just giving people an opportunity to get their audio and whatever settings ready. But the plan for tonight, inshallah, is that I'm going to give a presentation. And I just want to say that there are obviously quite a few folks here that have already been to Hajj. They're here just for the good times and the vibes. But this is really for those folks that are looking to go to Hajj. And it's always difficult to hit the right balance, especially when you know a lot of information already and you think, oh God, this is boring. I know all of this. Well, along the journey, you have to get used to that. And that is its own skill, right? Those who are students of knowledge, for example, those who study Islam at some kind of disciplined level, might not be the greatest student, but at some level, will know the importance of being patient during study. One of the greatest skills that you will have is the ability to be able to repeatedly hear the same information, and each time not allow yourself to get bored, but attenuate your hearing so that you're focusing on the different version or the new pieces of information in between all the stuff that you already know. And that's the way that you don't waste your time, and that's the way that you excel in your studies. Okay, folks. So this presentation is being done early so that people have the confidence that they know that you are not dealing with an ordinary unit here. MashaAllah, this team is a team on a different level. I don't say that because it's my team or because of any arrogance. You will get to learn that and see that very, very clearly. And you are probably actually here this early. I mean, if you imagine, it's only been 4 months since the last Hajj, right? We came back in June. So, half of June, July, August, September, half of October. So it's only been 4 months, right? Technically speaking, we're 7 months away, May 14th, right? So today is the October 19th. So what's that? November, December, January, February, March, April, May. May 14th is when we're going. So it's essentially 7 months away. And you're like, what the hell are we even doing 7 months in advance? And that's the difference between the people who are actually successful at Hajj and those who do Hajj. Okay? Those who are actually successful at Hajj and those who do Hajj. Ahmed makes a point, by the way, Naeem. Have we definitely got the local recording started? Yeah? Just to confirm.
Yes, it's just kicking off. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
yeah, it's been recording. Yeah.
Okay, great. So the it's not just using every cliche under the sun, the early bird gets the worm and all the rest of it. Hajj is very much that opportunity that you take out what you put into it. And there will be people, just to cut straight to the point, January 20th is when Hajj will go live. Everything that you do from now until January 20th is about preparation for January 20th. And some people will have done absolutely nothing. Forget January 20th, because the sales of the Hajj packages from Saudi happen in normally 2, 3, 4 phases, all depending upon how stable their systems are. And as you're going to learn in the next few minutes, it's a online based system in which strategy and tactics means that you come out winner if you are with the right people and you are patient enough and you've prepared well enough. But the system will crash. If there's anything that we can be absolutely certain about, is that the Nusuk system will crash, like every ticketing, purchasing website crashes when there's a mass surge of buying at any moment. And I gave the example of this in the Telegram group. And if you are joining this live, the gang can now share with you the actual the actual link to where you should be. All of this is just empty talk if you are not in the right place at the right time. And what's most important is that all of you are in the Hajj 2026 channel. And all of these are things that I'm going to be explaining, in terms of the definition, the differences between the channel. But you'll see now in the chat a link which is known as the Hajj 2026 bot. Some of you are very happy with the bot, and some of you, yani, it's been the bane of your life. That's okay. Everyone has a different kind of experience. Thank you, Nazia. If you have up until now not joined or clicked on this bot, you need to do that now. Okay, so just if we can, Omer has written the wrong link. If we can just remove Omer's link and just name and just leave Nazia's link, that's the correct one. The bot link itself is the one which will not only register your details on the system, it will ensure that you're not spammed. It will ensure that your information is tailored, and it will ensure that you get to actually see the most important messages that you're meant to see. Okay, and that's important. So just as a reminder, name, if you can delete Umer's message, the Telegram link
Yes,
that he's written, because
I'll
it's
give it a shot. Give it a shot in a minute.
yeah. And we just put the correct one in, which is this one here. Okay, folks, the one that I give here. Yep, there we go. So Mice has put the right one. Okay, and I'll do that as well. No, I don't know what I've just done. Forget the one that I've just put in. But yeah, the one that Name has just put in. This is the one which you all need to go through. And if you are already in the Hajj channel and got in there without going through the bot, you also need to go through the bot. Okay, folks? So this is the one that you click. That's the one that you should have done. It would have got your information, and it will also allow you an advantage. And where is that advantage? That advantage will be in being able to receive information when things go live. This is a nightmare, by the way, right? You can't put, you'll hear this phrase again and again and again. You can't put lipstick on a pig, right? You can't. The system is a nightmare. It's horrible. The truth is that as much as we try to make it as easy as possible, it's not made easy for us to make it as easy as possible. The truth is that the system will crash. The system goes live at a time where it doesn't give you the amount of the proper warning. They give you a rough idea that we're going to go live sometime today. It doesn't recognize that we have lives, that we go to sleep, that we go to the masjid, that it was that we are at work, that some of the family members that are going with us are not literate in all of these aspects. And when you see, for example, Hamza, those who are there, or if you're in the chat, then you'll see Hamza. Hamza is a survivor, okay, a bruised and battered survivor who tried to get in through Hajj 2025 Nusuk, and at every stage he was not able to get through. Meaning, this is the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His reward for attending the Hajj has been written, and now he's going for the obligatory Hajj. Responding to him is Umar. Umar, as you can see in the chat, these are not members of our team. These are Hamza is one of the brothers who tried to get into Hajj last year and couldn't at every stage. And Umar is a person who did get into the Hajj last year, meaning 2025, at one of the very early stages. Both prepared as best as possible. Both were as locked in as you can possibly imagine. And the truth is that being as organized as possible can only take you so far. The rest is down to your dua, down to your intention, and down to the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in what is best for you or not best for you. And we never, can appreciate that at the time. It's only something which happens afterwards. So anyway, enough rambling. I just want to, yeah, and Ali is another survivor, miskin, from over the pond. And everyone is, as like I said, you'll see a lot of folks. And what's going to happen soon? So you're in a channel right now in Telegram. I'm looking at it right now, 452 subscribers. Now, 452 people. This is important, again, that you understand, especially if you are not used to a Telegram, and especially if you are not used to the Hajj game. And a lot of people will lose nerve at key moments. And I'll give you an example what I mean by that. This is a program which is extremely popular. The Hajj with AE program, even before Nusuk, was the most popular religious, or I should say Islamic program, meaning that there's an attempt to try to make something out of it more than the Hajj. It was always for the last 10 years, mashallah, the most popular. It was heavily oversubscribed. Then Nusuk took over, the Saudi government took over. And in the Nusuk era, of which 3 years have been in operation, the previous year, 2022, was not Nusuk, it was the Saudi government, but it was a mess called Mutawif, run by Hindus and God knows what an absolute madness that was. But in 23, 24, 25, they've now had 3 years of the brand new system. It is here to stay. It's actually not just here to stay, it's expanding. Actually, I'll tell you something interesting. The intention of the Saudis is to make all of the Hajj online like Nusuk. So I want you to know how it works. The Hajj works around the world by, first of all, dividing the countries into 2 worlds, the Muslim world and the non-Muslim world. And the Muslim world, Pakistan, Indonesia, Nigeria, Bangladesh, these kind of countries, big Muslim populations, Egypt and all the rest of it, they were all given a quota of like 100,000, 50,000 people, 100,000 people, and they have a fixed station, fixed embassies, fixed ministries of Hajj in their countries, and they would just do individual visa applications. The country government itself would be responsible for putting people into queues and then giving them visas, blah, 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 blah. And in the West, all the countries were given also allocations, but there was no restriction. Anybody can go as many times as you want. It's just about financial power. And the travel agents had a right to be able to purchase blocks of visas, and then they would formulate a package and then sell it to the end user, knowing that the Western kind of mindset is willing to pay more for that kind of thing. And it was, it was something that was a successful model. Obviously, the Saudi government they depend upon the Hajj as a massive income stream. And where would they be making their money? They would be making their money by selling services to the travel agents. So the transport, they would sell the areas, the hotels, for example, but they couldn't really get involved in the hotels because the hotels are privately owned, like by big companies like Movenpick and Hilton Group and all the rest of it, Marriott Group and whatever they're called. And so they couldn't take a cut there. But in the areas like Arafah and Mina and Muzdalifah, they would charge rent essentially for those areas. And so that's how the business model would go. Obviously, with every new authority coming in, they're trying to increase their revenue streams. They saw an opportunity where they could get rid of all these travel agents and all these authorities in the West and control everything from top to bottom and take control of all of the services as well and put a premium on each one and enforce visa fees, insurance fees, medical insurance fees, basically a cash cow. But not just that, put it and test it on a people that have the ability to do that because we're computer literate and have the money to pay for whatever they are offering. And so the idea would be that the if these are the folks that are going to be willing to pay, and ultimately we want to move this model straight over to the rest of the world as well. We can wait plenty of years for that, but in the meantime the Muslim world will continue and these groups will continue. It got so successful over the last few years. Like last year 2025 was unbelievably successful for the Saudi Hajj ministry. They allowed approximately 50, just say for the sake of argument, 50,000 people, and I'm going to give a presentation in a minute that will show you these countries. 50,000 people from the West were allowed to come to Hajj. All of the profit margins that the Saudi, the Ministry of Hajj and the PFI, PIF fund, whatever it's called, that they wanted were hit. All the profits were made. Everyone's happy. They fleeced us left, right, and center. And that's not going to change. So much so that they've started now the expansion. And the biggest expansion news this year is South Africa. South Africa was always a very interesting anomaly in that it is not in the Muslim world, obviously, and it's in the non-Muslim world. But anybody who's been to South Africa and knows the South African Muslim community knows that they are the Muslims run the country. Basically, they are the richest in that country. They are the most politically savvy in that country. They have the great industries that they own themselves. Basically, Gucci is running the show, yani, to a next level, right? And that's because they've been there for generations. Like if you look at US and UK and us, we're like second, third generation. They've been there for 5, 7, 8 generations. And those Yani boys, mashallah, teaching everybody how it's done. And the world recognizes that, and the Saudis recognized it. And so they were like an anomaly where they were given like a kind of separate Hajj mission, almost treated like a pseudo-Islamic country themselves. So that's very interesting, actually, because for them, that's very good. They got lots of visas, they got lots of Yani ease at Hajj, and they got dropped a bombshell. This year, they were told, right, all that's gone, and now you've been thrown into the Nusuk pile. Just to give you an idea, South Africa would normally send, wealthy, mostly Gujarati, very, very committed to secular kind of acts. The Hajj is a very secular type of act, right? A lot of non-practicing people, what do? They give charity, they do Hajj, they pray here and there, they fast in Ramadan, but they don't practice Islam properly, right? Completely, totally. And there are certain ethnicities, and those obviously I'm taking a huge amount of liberties. Those who are hearing this for the first time might be in state of shock, but those who have been studying me over the last 10, 20, 25 years will know that what I'm talking about, and I've spoken a lot about the social kind of factors and the anthropological basis behind the different Western Muslim communities. But the Gujarati community is a very interesting community to study from a financial point of view and a political point of view. They've always had an acquiescence type policy when it comes to political activity. That's not where its roots come from. If you see their forefathers in British India, you can see actually the opposite, but I digress. You will see actually in Palestine, when you go, they're the most respected because they're the ones that have always been sticking up for the Palestinians. And you see South Africa, the modern version, in the way that it's the ones that took Israel to court. That is a continuation of actually the original Gujarati type of activism, which has now become more as I said, a more secular type of approach. Wealthy, very much invested in the Hajj, and therefore there was always a lot of money to be made for these different companies, and they would have 10,000, 8,000, thousands of people basically that they would send to Hajj. By comparison, the UK, for example, we are a population of nearly 3 million Muslims, and we were every year, all of the, I say we, I'm not, we're not a travel agent, we're not a business, we're not a company, we're not a profit, we're not nothing, whatever, just so that you are aware. But obviously, we've been in the game for many years. The travel agents that we would work with, they would be given approximately 25 to 27,000 visas a year. America, something in the 20s, like that, thousand. So that would mean every year, like in 2010 and 2014 and 2020, and all these kind of years, and in the 90s, whatever, you got thousands of people going each year. And under Nusuk, all those dreams are dashed. And Nusuk basically said to the UK, you are only allowed 3,500 people a year. Look at the drop, okay, from 25,000 a year coming all the way down to 3,500. South Africa they are up in arms. They've only been given 1,500 visas. Canada, for example, smaller Muslim community, they've only got about 1,500, if I remember correctly. And these do increase. America, 3,800, for example. Now, every year, especially a wealthier group of people, this is a big shock to the system. And now they're going to be under pressure. There is no way to avoid this. And you've got to embrace this with skill, with patience, and with contentment in the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether you get chosen or not. You are now starting to taste what the Muslims in the Muslim countries have been living for all their lives. There are people that go to, yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Naseem. France has a 5,000 limit, quota. So if you look at ours of 3,800, that's with 3 million Muslims. In France, the population is somewhere around the 5 million mark, and they've been given 5,000 as well. Population, the actual quota is more than just a big population. It's also the type of population. It's a complicated kind of algorithm that they use either way. But I also want to say that depending upon the 3 years of Nusuk, which year it's been, they've also kind of adjusted these figures. So essentially, the UK is getting I think in 2024 or whatever, the UK sent 5,500 people, right? The America also, I think, got to like a 6,000 in one of the last 3 years. I can't remember. You might say, how is that possible? Well, the way that the system works with this 50,000 is that they do it in phases. So in the first phase, they put out like about 10,000. I'm just using numbers for now. And I gave the example. No, sorry, I haven't given you guys the example. I gave a private reminder last week or to some people. I said that the best example to think about is Ticketmaster and Oasis. Oasis is a rock band, a very popular one. Its announcement that they were going live with their concerts was the biggest announcement in like the last 20 years. And there were millions, literally millions of people that were trying to get tickets. And I give this example because Ticketmaster deals with this every single day. Hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people every day buying tickets to Taylor Swift and to flipping Oasis and big NFL games and big football games and big, shows and the WWE and wrestling, sports, entertainment, whatever. It deals with all of the massive pressures, and you cannot imagine the computing power and the memories and the servers and the computing know-how. And every single time it crashes. It cannot handle the surge. No system on earth can handle that surge. So they all crash, they all suffer, they all whatnot. And so that's managing your expectations. The Saudi system will also crash. How did they try to manage that? This is how they try to do it. 2 key ways. First of all, they look at their 50,000 quota and they say, it's stupid to offer all of that at the beginning. Let's reduce it and allow people to, we'll pulse sell it. So in, over a couple of weeks, we'll just chuck them out and then see what happens. So that's the first way. Reduce the numbers so that you reduce so people know that, it's okay. I don't need to kill myself to buy it in the first phase, because what I'll do is I'll go for the second phase a week later. And then, if I miss out on the second phase, no problem. I'll go for the third phase. By people knowing this, less people are going to keep going for each phase, gives other people a bigger chance. You get the point? The second theory, strategy, this is what we've learned. They don't advertise this, of course, but this is what we've learned. The other kind of what we notice is that they do not give exact times. And that's intentionally so when they go live, because they know that if we said we are all going live, everybody, on Friday at 7 p.m., about like this, then everybody would all be there at that moment, and it would just crash. And so they kind of use rough kind of, we're going to go live on Friday, or we're going to go live Friday evening. And they give you it's a Saudi evening, it's a UK evening, Friday evening, sometime between Fajr and, it's like that. Now, incredibly infuriating. However, there is a wisdom behind it. At least you can understand the system behind it. And then it uses a system of OTP codes to be able to get rid of all the bots and all the fake folks. And so they have all these things in order to allow people to buy. And here's the thing. You get an opportunity first time round, and then they will get another opportunity. And what you are battling against, here's now you as a person who's trying to go to Hajj, you have a number of things that you are fighting against. And that is why it is so important. If I'm droning on, which I am, and you forget everything from this presentation, which you will, the most important thing that you will learn is to trust the process. And when we say jump, you just say how high. Otherwise, you're going to have the most stressful period of time. Let us do all of this computing, all of this worrying, all of this strategizing. Let us do it all for you. Let us tell you, do this, and you will have an easy ride. But I'm now giving you an example of those folks who don't want to and want to try to understand it all. Well, if you want to understand it, get ready. You are fighting multiple quotas each time that you go up in a sale. For example, 50,000 for the entire West. When that number gets hit, it'll close. It doesn't matter which country you're from. It doesn't matter whether you are from a country that had a large quota or a small quota. If the 50,000 overall quota is met quickly, then you will miss out. You will miss out. That's one quota you're fighting against. The second quota is the actual country that you belong to. So if you are in the UK and like what happened in like just now in 2025, and you've got 3,800 places, the 3,800 places ran out, bam, in the first phase, pretty much 90%. They ran out. We've reached that quota, but the overall quota, only 25,000 got sold. Then they went live again, and guess what? Only a few more thousand got sold. Well, you might say, how? Why is that? Well, because the other countries are what? Botswana, Ecuador, Liechtenstein, the random countries around the world that they've got like 5 Muslims, Finland, this, that, whatever. And you've got all of these people that have also been given a quota out of fairness, which I have to say to you, I like the idea in theory. And a lot of what the Saudis try to have done makes some kind of sense, actually. And they know that we give them an opportunity to buy. If they buy, great. If they don't buy, then we're going to reappropriate that leftover quota and spread it amongst the rest of the countries. And so at all stages, you are battling overall quota, your country quota, and then another issue is getting onto our program. Our program is a popular one. Some people will try to get onto our program, have not followed our strategy, been very lazy about it, and then realize that there's no space. Even though our program has over 500 spaces, nearly 400 just for the UK, nearly 100 for the Americans, 50 odd for the Canadians, and a splattering for the rest of the folks around South Africa, Europe, Australia, and the rest of these countries. And so I want you to know that all of this is really confusing. There is only so much that we can try and explain and help, and we will be. This week, you're going to see in our Hajj channel, we're going to start releasing some guides, okay, about when you should be applying, how you should be applying, and the different categories that you fall into while you're applying. For example, look at Naeem. Naeem, who is one of our old Satis, I hope you're doing good, walaikum salam, Naeem, has asked, if you've got a previous Nusuk account, that automatically, you're going to be 3 categories of people who are applying for Hajj this year. First time completely, never known Nusuk, never done anything before whatsoever. That's the first category, and it'll be the majority. The second category of people are those that have opened up a Nusuk account in the past few years, either have been to Hajj or failed to go to Hajj for whatever reason. That's the second category. And then you've got the third category of people who are new people going to Hajj, okay, but they are not citizens or passport holders of the country that they're living in the West. So these are your green card holders. These are the folks that are on the old BRP permits or on e-visas, spouses from Pakistan or whatever, immigrants, whatever it is, the type of person that you are. That is the third category. All three are treated differently on Nusuk. The first lot we're going to have a guide for. This is what you do. The third lot is the most difficult. You have to produce a document that shows agent codes, share codes, visas, this, that. We will explain everything. We will be able to help you in that process individually. So you got nothing to worry about. Again, just trust the process. And then you got this small group that Naeem belongs to. And Naeem, you're belonging to the same category as us. All of us are going to have to apply on Nusuk as well, the team that we have. And when you go in, you always reactivate your existing account. So you go in and you just basically have to upload your passport photo and passport page, but you don't change anything else. You use the same username, the same password. You do not try to create a new one. You do everything to try to find out what your old password was or reset it. The key is the email that you used for Nusuk, and that is what you use. And Tayyiba asked a very important question: is the account for Umrah, or the one that we've already used on our phones, that Nusuk, is that what we're talking about? Answer is absolutely not. Okay, the Nusuk that everybody will know on their phone that they use to book their Rawda, that book their Umrah, has nothing to do with the Hajj. Nothing. Okay, and you will be the Nusuk system portal is a different one, based online on a computer, and you will start to see, and you would have, everyone who's been following the process so far, and I don't want anybody to feel bad in the chat, or those that are looking at this and feeling, oh my God, I've missed out. But obviously, if you've not been following the process so far and you've not been in our Hajj channel, you would have known that I've told everybody, do not register for Nusuk. Do not try to do anything. I've been telling you all to wait, and that's what everybody has been doing, or the majority, mashallah. Those people who came to the game late, and it's crazy to say that 7 months in advance, but there are people that are not in the channel, missed the memo, and have been trying to do it themselves, finding it a headache, finding it a problem, and getting stuck as well. And we will be helping those people. So Riz, you got nothing to worry about. Muhammad, you got nothing to worry about. We're going to be, inshallah, helping you. You've made it a mission for us, by the way. I'm not going to lie. You've, not all of you, but it is going to create a little bit extra work. But that's why we have such a big team. That's why our team is so experienced. And that's also why we are partnered with the group that we call our logistical partners, who are Al-Bayt, which we'll come to. Right, all these folks coming on screen, whatever, are here to remind me that I need to get into the presentation. So I'm going to try to do that right now, folks, okay? And then we'll do some, oh yeah, this is sick. Right, folks, can you see this? Full screen? Naeem, Danish, anybody?
Yeah, Sheikh, it's we can see it, inshallah.
Looks good. Looks good, Sheikh.
That's great. All right, guys. So let's jump straight in. This is what's happening tonight. We have started, so no messing around like that. I'm gonna jump straight through this. Why you'll have this in the well, we're gonna share this anyway, but this is just to give you a quick overview of the game. And again, as I said, when we do this again, you'll know what level of depth we're going into. And at the moment, it's not too much depth because it's still early. These are the key parts that you're going to be covering, that we're going to see in this presentation. So let's understand who the people are, right? What are the names and these phrases that you hear and the like? So Nusuk is the actual platform of the Saudi government, all right? That's what basically the only way you can go do Hajj is through Nusuk. Now, some of you might say, and listen, remind me that we come back to this later, I'm going to go through Pakistan, I'm going to go through Bangladesh, I'm going to go through Nigeria because you have Shanahti card, or because you have citizenship or dual nationality. Then I can only say to you what the people have experienced. We do not advise that. You're going to then get a Pakistani version of Hajj. It doesn't matter what they are telling you, whatever, whatnot. It's a risky move as well. That's why it's now pretty much now a non-thing, because a lot of people got skanked in 24, 25. But I'm not going to get involved in that politics. Just stick to the Nusuk version. Most importantly, stick to our channel. Our program is the one that's going to see all the way through. There are two entities that you need to be aware of, okay? There's the people behind the scenes, all right, that are doing the actual liaising with the Hajj ministry. And these are like about 6 or 7 massive mega companies that have billions of assets. They got chosen by the Hajj ministry, and there's no doubt that there's some kind of process going on. And we are with the biggest and the best. It's called Al Bayt Guests, Duyuf Al Bayt. Okay, they are known as the service provider. And Duyuf Al Bayt, you can do. You'll start to see them kick into action soon over the next few weeks. They'll be to their own Telegram channel, and they'll be going live with webinars and all the rest of it. But we operate independently from them as well. Even though they are our partners, we do not depend upon anybody. We are not answerable to anybody. We do our own thing. One of the reasons that our program is so popular is because our position in the market, all right, our reputation as being the leading Hajj program, the biggest Hajj program, and the most successful Hajj program in Nusuk. And that's not anecdotal statements, stats. Those are facts. Those are actual facts. Means that we have a lot of clout with our provider, and they are very good in their own space. But what makes them the best is that they just stay out of our way and give us everything that we need. So as you're going to see in a minute, they just say, okay, what dates do you want? I say, I want these dates. What hotels do you want? I want this hotels. What program do you want? I want this program. What buildings do you want? I want this building. Everything that you're going to see in our Hajj program is handpicked by us, unlike what happens to everybody else that are given different hotels, different things, and whatever. And so we're very, very fortunate, and we're very grateful to our service provider for being in the strong position that they are and trusting us. And we've repaid back that faith. They make a lot of money out of us, by the way, a huge sum of money. And we're very happy for Muslim businesses to make as much. They can make millions out of us as long as you keep our people happy. And alhamdulillah, these are not empty claims. The reason that you're hearing this webinar is because you have seen that proof from people that have been, or what you've read online, or the reviews, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So we are what's known as the marketing partner. That's a bit of a kind of a weird phrase, but essentially that's the category of people that we belong to. But we are very different to the rest because we just run the show entirely ourselves. We use our own software, we use our own channels, we use our own bots, despite Al Bayt having a control over their own, and they're going to be wanting you to fill in various things for them, and we're going to be forced to at different stages. However, our success is because of our systems, mashallah, our team, mashallah, which is better than any system or team that any service provider or Hajj ministry can put together. So anyway, what's the Hajj prep? I've already spoken about this. So the countries are all of these countries that you can see. So in the screen, from Asia, you got some of these countries that are not Muslim countries, like Japan, Hong Kong, whatever. You got the African countries, as you've seen there as well, etc., etc., etc. However, our focus on where we take people from is we take both types of people, meaning those that are born citizens or passport holders, and those that are permanent residents. So, for example, green card and e-visa folks and whatever in the UK. So we are allowed to take those folks. There'll be individuals that will be on very specific type of visas, like spousal visas, and there will be folks that will be on other types of weird and wonderful visas. As long as you have permanent residence and indefinite leave, even if you don't have a passport, we will make it work for you, inshallah, and we will give you bespoke support from our team who have got very, very good experience in this. Okay, but our focus is on Canada, the USA, the UK, Europe, Australia, and South Africa. That's where the majority, or actually all of our people come from. Very few will come out of this particular area. Okay. When it comes to Hajj packages, I don't really want to spend much time on this because I don't know why I'm wasting time trying to help you choose a package that I don't believe is going to be the right one for you. If I thought that this was not the very best program for you, then I would be giving you other options. But I'm trying to save you time and not make you waste your time. That the one that you should focus on is our program. And that's the only one that we're going to be able to support. I mean, you think about it, look at the group size now. It's 452 subscribers. By the time that the Hajj goes live, remember that I said this, okay? It will be over 2,000 subscribers in that group. And people will say, and again, remember I said to you about losing your nerve? People will think, how the hell am I going to get onto the Hajj with the E program when there's 2,000 people in here and they're also, you know, learning all the tricks, all the pro tips, all the strategy, and I'm going to get caught out. That's not the case. The reason that there's 2,000 is because everybody uses our strategy, our tools, our whatever. And you know what? Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from the team. The efforts, at the end of the day, are rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whoever gets into whatever program, we're willing to support them, but only in a general sense. But if for a specific sense, we can only support those people who are on our program. How do the different packages differ, right? This is a quick overview of what Hajj under Nusuk looks like, okay? So there are 3 types of program. They're called standard, premium, and luxury. That's the category in terms of the quality. The truth is that standard is very basic, okay? And you could find some deals in the 6, 7 grand kind of mark, right? And that's UK sterling, 5, 6, 7,000 pounds potentially. And then premium and luxury are very, very similar, right? Very, very similar. So for example, with the hotel that we stayed in for 23, 24, and 25, I think, I want to say, in Medina is my favorite hotel to stay in during Hajj. It is a 5-star hotel directly in front of the of Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina. It's called Dalla Tayyiba. It's our center, it's our base. It's an excellent location, and it's a known 5-star hotel. However, for whatever political reason, whoever's palms they didn't grease, whatever, whatnot, it has been categorized as a premium hotel and as a 4-star hotel, even though outside of the Hajj season, where the politics is less, it then is able to maintain its 5-star rating, and it's one that we use in our Umrah programs, blah, 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 blah. And so this is a very easy example to understand that don't get too caught up on, I need to go luxury and whatever. There's plenty of luxury in our program for those that want it, even though you're going to realize that the success of our program is when you remove luxury from your heart and from your mind as an objective in the Hajj. Even though ours is comfortable, even though when you see all of the people you've spoken to, they'll tell you what was comfortable, what was not comfortable. They'll give you the facts, warts and all. There's nothing to hide. Our Hajj is live streamed. You can go to our Instagram channel, and it'd be good someone shares that. And take some time, folks, and look at the Hajj 2025 highlights from the bio page of our Instagram channel. Look at the 2024 highlights as well. These are the ones that are the daily vlogs. You'll see actually firsthand where you'll be staying. So those that are really obsessed with luxury, well, you know what? I'm sad to say there's plenty of luxury for you to make you happy. But those that want to go for the very best program, and if there's a bit of a cheeky bit of luxury on the side, then that'd be great. Then ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. This is exactly where you want to be, and that's where I want you to be here as well, because you've got the right mindset. Luxury has got to be a secondary aspect to this, to your objectives. So how do packages then get differentiated? Because there'll be thousands of packages out there, and that's why you've got to start making the key decisions, which I'm going to come to right at the very, very end, of what is it that you want to achieve, because the duration will change. So there'll be 12-day packages, 25-day packages. Ours is a 17-day package, and it's the only one you should consider. But you'll be tested. You'll be thinking, oh, the kids, the work, my holidays, blah, 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 blah. All the nonsense that Shaitan will put into your head, and you will knowingly choose a program that you know for a fact is not even close in quality, in content, in prep, in team, in whatever, only because you convince yourself that you should only go for 12 days. That is the biggest mistake that you'll make. Only because you convince yourself that your kids are somehow going to die if they spend another 5 days waiting for you, as opposed to the 10 days they were, or the 14 days that they were, or whatever. So package duration differentiates between the programs. The other way is whether you go Medina first or last, right? You will always only ever see me advocating for Medina first. You will only realize why our program is the best because we make sure that we build up your iman in the right way, that your spirituality is curated in the right way so that you peak at the right moment, and that you knacker yourself out at the Hajj, which is your objective, and then you go straight home, as opposed to, and you'll be so ill, you will be so tired, you will be so exhausted. The last thing that you should be doing is then going and wasting then 4 days of the beautiful opportunity in Medina at a time where you are at your weakest, when you are your most ill, and when Medina is its most busiest. And that is not the time to enjoy Medina. Again, trust the process, trust our decisions. The packages will differ in terms of their hotels. Are they close or they're not? Ours are close, but that shouldn't be a defining factor. The big phrase that you're going to hear is shifting and non-shifting. I'll explain that later in more detail in another webinar, but basically shifting and non-shifting are two conceptually different programs. This is where you stay in luxury hotels to the maximum period of time, and therefore the cost of your program is a bit more, and it has some pros and cons, versus shifting. And ours is a very, very shifting dependent program because we have our own building that we shift to. The word shifting is referring to moving in Mecca, you'll see in a map in a minute, moving from the Haram to closer to the places of Hajj. And that logistically will make the rest of the Hajj far easier, and it also allows the price to come down. And that shifting goes to a place called Aziziyah. And the quality of your Aziziyah building, which you can essentially call your third hotel location. So your first hotel location will be in Medina, and your second hotel location will be in Mecca, and then your third hotel location will be in Aziziyah, which is a suburb in Mecca and a suburb which is closer to the areas of Mina and Arafah where all the Hajj action occurs. And so the moving there is a great help for the Hajj, but it also is mentally and spiritually a great help because it starts to bring your mindset closer to the big days when you're all 100, 200 people in a tent, when you're all thousands upon people, thousands of you in the open air on the night of Muzdalifah. If you come straight from your 5-star hotel right opposite the Haram into that, your body will go into shock, your mind will go into shock, the quality of your Hajj will suffer. Just again, trust the process. The Mina camp, where you are to certain places, there is a high level of luxury in what's called the Majar al-Kabsh camp, a higher, more expensive price, a more closer to the Jamarat. People go for it because they want like a VVIP kind of package, as opposed to the vast majority, which will be in Mu'aysim. It's an absolute no-brainer to stay in Mu'aysim, which is of an extremely high quality at the moment in the new Nusuk era. If I was to say what the biggest achievement of the Nusuk era was, is that they were able to turn the European, it's known as the European North American camp, the Mu'aysim camp, which is like about a 40-minute walk from the pillars that you will be stoning on a couple of the days of the Hajj. They have been able to make that as luxurious as what Majar al-Kabs used to be back in the day. It's an incredible achievement, better than what you would have thought. And the other thing that changes the price and the types of packages is the rooming configuration. And now, what does rooming configuration mean? You have 3 choices when it comes to the way that you have a room. You are either sharing in a twin room, either with individual beds or a marital bed, meaning a king-size bed. Okay, so a husband and wife, for example. You are either sharing in a triple room, so that's with 2 other people, or as you can see on the screen, in a quad room with 3 other people. Obviously, the cheapest price that you will find is the quad room, and you will in the next few months be doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of planning and a lot of decision making on what is the right way, what's the type of room to get, what are going to be the defining factors. And I will be supporting you in that by giving you information, by when the prices become available, then giving you the prices and the strategy, and also making you realize that each one has a pro and a con. For example, the double one is very expensive. The quad one is a lot more cheaper. For example, the double one is restricting you in the amount of people that you're going to have access to in terms of the way that your Hajj experience will be. Whereas being in a quad will maximize the quality of your experience. Some people will have no choice but to be in quads because of the size of their family unit. Some people will need to know other factors. I'll cover all of that in a different time. I want you to know though, and this is extremely important, and this, I'm just going to throw this in now, and then over the next 1-2 months, I'm going to explain it in its right time and the right place, okay, on the channel. But you need to know that you do not no longer, unlike what it used to be pre-Nusuk years ago, where you would buy a room with your travel agent, you would buy your own room and you put however many people you want in it. You do not get to buy a room. So you, as an individual person, are just buying a bed. Now, you might say, what's the difference between that? I don't care if I'm buying a room or a bed. Well, put it this way. If there are 4 of you, and I want you to imagine that there is a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister. Okay, so I'm going with my sister and my mom and dad for Hajj. That just means 4 of us. Okay, and we look and, we make a decision. There's 2 decisions we could make. We say, you know what? Let's put mom and dad into a double. Yeah, and they can have their own room. and then me and you, sis, will share a double room, twin beds. Okay, that's a common sense thing. Or we're on a budget and we say, you know what, we can save £1,000 here, £2,000-3,000 here across the whole board, and we'll all go into a quad room, and we'll all have a single bed, so we'll just get a quad room. Unfortunately, not the case. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. You just get a quad room, 4 beds, and we'll take all 4 beds. But Nusuk will make it very clear to you, because it's a rubbish system, right? That's why that you are buying a bed only. You are buying a bed in a quad room. And according to Nusuk, that means that you as a male, right, could be sharing with an unknown amount of a pool of other people, random people in your room, but you will only be in a bed with 3 other people sharing. That is what Nusuk does. It's a nightmare. However, alhamdulillah, because of the planning and the quality of the teams, we cannot give a 100% guarantee, but 99% of the time we are able to manipulate the system and try our very best to keep 4 people together in a room like that, whilst making it clear that we cannot give that promise to everybody. And that's a big dua that you got to be making if you want to be together in a room. Just giving you that very brief summary now. Again, it's very difficult for me to keep giving information now where it's so overwhelming, and that's why you just need to watch the recording again of this, because there's a lot of stuff I'm saying, and I'm speaking very, very quickly because I'm very conscious of the time. But I want you to give you the tasalli, and I give you that good news that we are going to be doing this again, and we'll do another live stream again. You'll have plenty of access. We are not people who hide behind screens and not accessible on the system. That's the reason why people go with us, because we are absolutely with you every step of the way. Read up and be confident that you will not get abandoned. How are the other defining factors? The departure gateways. So we will be flying from the US, from a central airport, possibly 2 this year, and then Toronto from Canada, and then from London and Manchester, and that's it. And you will be tested like that. You'll say, nah, man, I can't, I only want to fly from Glasgow. I'm not interested. If you don't have a flight from Glasgow, I'm not interested. Or if you're in the States, you'll be like, oh man, I'm only flying from LAX. I'm not flying from anywhere else. Or if you're in Vancouver, you'll be like, I want to go from Vancouver, and I don't care about any other program. And you would make another huge mistake where you would determine your Hajj package because of your unwillingness to actually go from one of the key airports. And we're going to come to this as well, because this is a detailed point. This year, the flight system is going to be an interesting one. Everybody will have the theoretical choice of buying their own flights, meaning from any city in the world. You could come from anywhere. However, you're going to learn very, very quickly that the people who try that are the ones who have the least chance of going to Hajj this year, any year, because the system that they use to buy flights is like a Skyscanner system, and it's called Musafir, and it is absolutely rotten to the core. And if you want to know why people like Hamza didn't go to Hajj last year, then it is because of Musafir. And if you want to know about how many people got left behind from Hajj last year, it is solely because of Musafir. And when I say to you, and this is so important, my brothers and sisters, that when I say trust the process, many things come under that. One of those things is buy the group flight, meaning that you will have, despite having the option to buy your own flight with a package, when we're saying to you, buy the included flight, it is the best priced version. Or if it's not the best priced, it is the best timed. If it's not the best timed, it's the best from logistics. If it's not the best for logistics, it's absolutely the most likely to get you a place on the Hajj, because it will allow you to check out quicker than everybody else. Again, when you've got hundreds, maybe 100,000 people will register for Nusuk this year. I think it was 90,000 last year. 100,000 will register, maybe more, trying to get 50,000 places. And then all of those are then, then trying to get to the quota of individual countries. You are going up against everybody else in that friendly or unfriendly competition. You call it what you want. فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. Let those people compete with one another in good deeds. And you got to be ready for the challenge. And how do you get a one-up and a head start on everybody else? You learn the process of being able to check out the quickest, how to receive the OTP code the quickest, how to have the system ready and windows open the quickest. It is now starting to come together in your mind. What those who have been in our channel so far for the last 4 months, this channel has been open for 4 months. Now the folks who are saying, oh my God, I've been missing out. Yes, you have been. Yes, you have been. As I said before, people get what they deserve. Those who have been planning early, those who've been planning from last year, they deserve to be ahead of everybody else. But it's not too late. You are still extremely well placed, which is why we've gone so early with this particular webinar. You follow our process, you will be able to see then, why is it that we've said take a styling account 3 months ago? Why is it that we said everybody open up a Gmail account? If you don't have one, even if you hate Google, open one up. Why is it that we've said to have this system, this ready, this, that? Because every one of these small factors is going to give you an advantage when it comes to the key moment of checking out. Right. Over the next few weeks, you're going to be receiving a couple of guides. They're going to help you simplify this process. We have a bot just made to make the strategy part easy. So most of you have already gone through it. Again, I repeat, if you are watching this seminar and you have not joined the Hajj 2026 channel, then that link in the bottom left corner, the Hajj bot 2026, is what you need to go through. So if you are in that group and not been through it, then you need to go through it now and rejoin the group. But most of you have done it already, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you're watching this because you clicked on the live and you didn't enter the channel on Telegram and you've not had Telegram installed, you must do that. One of the reasons I can just give you now that will make sense is that it's collecting information from you that allows us to create a bespoke strategy for you. That's the level of accuracy this year and last year, mashallah, that we were able to do. We were able to pinpoint for people what flight to target, what package to target to maximize their chance. Now, that's something that we cannot offer to the thousands of people out there. We can only offer that to our people who are in our program, and we're not going to apologize for it. That's the only what you deserve. And that the whole ethos that that covers our Hajj is because you deserve better, because you guys have been abused for so long. The Muslim populace of the Western countries have been abused for so long with substandard, rubbish travel agents and Hajj packages, which are only interested in money and profits and not interested in your Islamic development or mentoring afterwards, or you becoming better, actually better. But just this secular, pathetic, tick box approach to Hajj, which drives me absolutely insane and is the only reason I do this, and I keep doing this every year, because it is absolutely unacceptable what they're getting away with. And alhamdulillah, people are starting to open their eyes of what is possible and what you can achieve by going to Hajj and opening up all the doors that of khair that open up afterwards. So that bot is really important. On the right hand side, you can see a little bot there. That's going to become important over this week, which we're going to release a video. So just be in the channel, you'll see it, private video that will come and show you how to be able to put in your photos so that you get Nusuk verified quicker and more accurately than other people. Again, a key factor. And then you can see a link up there. The Nusuk guide is coming your way. What will this be? That's why those people who have been listening to me, and in the channel, you saw me put a meme or a GIF up about resist the onslaught of all the people. You're going to see on social media people telling you, Nusuk's open, register, and then you're in this little group, and AE is saying to you, bro, chill, relax, just stop. Don't do anything. Wait until I tell you. So those people who are patient, they're going to see that their process is going to be very easy, but not just very easy. They're not going to make the little mistakes. And when I say mistake, I don't mean error in data, even though some of you will do that as well, but actually decisions that you didn't consider about who should be making an account. Lead pilgrim only, family members, who's linking to who, what's the plan, who are the individuals that you should have in a linked account. You are thinking we're all going to go as a six, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin, this, that, whatever. But did you actually go and speak to each one of them individually? And have you got a percentage certainty for each one? And if one of those people said to you that we're 80%, you best not be putting them into your family structure, because you will not just, if that person decides not to go, person will not go, but all of you lot will not be able to go. It will be then too late for you to try to delink your account, then delete it, then do a new one, then get it verified and buy. I'm just giving you an example that happened multiple times over the last years. Again, wait for us to say to you, right, guys, start registering. Plenty of time left. Wait for our tools and the like. This is just a general idea of how the Hajj works. If you've never ever understood what the game is, basically Medina is not shown here, but we go to Medina for a few days, have an incredible time. Then we come to Mecca and we do our Umrah, then we stay at Mecca, and I give you guys the best opportunity to enjoy the Haram for a couple of days. And I make sure you become proper tired, proper done everything that you can do, as much Umrah at Tawaf as best as possible. Then I move all of you to that place called Aziziyah that you can see just to the right of Mecca. That's when you start to rest. That's when we start covering the key content. That's where I start getting you ready spiritually and the like. Then you go to where it says Mina camps. That, and you can see that distance between the two. We want to make sure that that's a walkable distance, not the fact that you will walk there. There will be transport, but knowing that you've got the options to be able to walk to these places is going to change the Hajj game. Because when the big Hajj days come, and there are 3 million people, 2 million people, however many people there's going to be in 2026 on the streets, and it is absolute roadblock. And if you think that there's going to be any coaches or taxis that are going to help you, you're living in Cloud Cuckoo Land, and you're going to realize that the 6-month fitness program that you're going to start with us, that we're going to be managing with you in order to get you physically ready to make sure that you do the Hajj. And I'll speak about that later as well. That's something very, very important. A lot of people think, oh, we're not going with the AE program, it's too physical. Bro, forget the AE program. What do you think in Umrah takes out of a person? How long, if you're staying at the most expensive hotel in Mecca, the most expensive and the closest, like in the Clock Tower, Raffles, for example, or Dar Tawheed. Dar Tawheed is actually in the grounds of the Haram. It's actually in the masjid grounds. Okay. If you were to leave your room from masjid, from Dar Tawheed Hotel, the Intercontinental, and go and do a tawaf and come back, what do you think? Do you think, Yani, that people can go there, you know, in the unfit, lazy kind of approach that you've done most of your life, Yani, to anything, and you think that that's something random? Just to do tawaf is about 4 or 5 kilometers if you do it around the Kaaba. If you do it on the first floor, second floor, which most of you will be forced to do because of the rules there, it is 7 kilometers. 7 kilometers just to do tawaf. Just to go and pray one prayer in the Haram, living on the actual edge of the Haram, meaning inside the Haram, meaning at the most expensive hotel, or one of our hotels, for example, the Hilton, which is where we'll be staying. Just to go in and back out to pray is a 2-kilometer walk. 2-kilometer walk. And so the people who are most successful at Hajj are those who are the fittest, those who have practiced the walking and the exercises that we will be doing as part of our fitness regime and so on. And likewise, the rest of the Hajj will be great as well. So you go to Mina, and then from Mina, then in the days of Hajj, you will then go to Arafah. You'll spend the day in Arafah, then you'll come back to Muzdalifah, spend the night in Muzdalifah, then you'll come back to Mina, then you'll go to Jamarat, and then the next few days is a kind of triangle, kind of going to the Haram, back to the Mina tents, go back to Aziziyah, back to Mina tents, then to Jamarat, back to Mina tents, back, and it's just going back and forth in these areas. So having this base in Aziziyah is an absolute godsend. That's what I'll say for now. Right. Our program is a Tarbiyah program. You're seeing pictures and slides from it. You will not see other programs run like this because we have a very, very different ethos and objective. We are not here for people that just want to do Hajj. If you are just doing Hajj, this is not the right place for you. Best that you save another 10, 15 minutes and sign out right now. Those that want something different, they want to become better versions of themselves, then you know that I'm going to put you through a masterclass of videos, of live streams, of live webinars like this, and then recorded content as well. There'll be prep work I'll be expecting from you. Those that are going to be having complicated menstruation issues will be looking after that in a bespoke fashion. Our medical team will be dealing with you in that sense. There will be a physical seminar for those people that like that as well. But of course, most of the stuff will be online just by the nature of it. At Hajj, we are incomparable to anybody else, mashallah. The level of activities towards this, that you're here because you know about that. So I'm not going to waste a second about that. And then after the Hajj, probably that's the other reason you're here. The reason you're here is because you're being told by people to be on this program because we are still in contact. We are still very much part of the development game. The Hajj for us was just the beginning of the journey, not the end of it. And that is something which differentiates us from the rest of the people. You should know that and have your confidence in that. All right, the people, the team now. So there's 2 folks at the top, essentially, when it comes to Islamic guidance. That's myself, and that's AE. And hilariously, there are still lots of people that are being called up by my team. And they say, yeah, we're from Hajj with the E. And they say, what the hell's AE? Who's AE? Which is hilarious. And I love it. And that's me, Abu Eesa, AE. Shaykh Abdul Ghaffar, the Imam, the voice of the Hajj. Then you've got the rest of the team. And it's a big team. And it's the very best, in my opinion, in the world, with one key thing in common. If you look at these, the people that are in these 2 screens, what is their common factor? Their ability to serve the people is second to none. Their passion to serve the people is second to none. That's how they get into my team. The fact that they all bring independent skills is a bonus. So the chief, for example, who runs the show with Dr. Abid, who's our medical doctor, Dr. Abid is going to make sure everybody gets through the Hajj in the least possible way of your illness, because everybody will get horribly ill in Hajj. the immune system is going to get battered. The amount of bugs that are there is, yani, you can't fight it. And when you have a doctor that's a field doctor, the difference between someone who only lives in theory versus someone who's in the field, on the battlefield, there's no comparison. So when it comes to our medical staff, we have our own medical staff. We do not rely upon other services and other things, unless of course it's an emergency, you need hospital treatment, something else. But we've got at all stages medically trained folks, nurses, midwives, ophthalmologists, doctors, dentists, part of our team. There are teachers, there are scholars. For example, Danish, Khatib and teacher. For example, Ustaz Tanvir, graduate of Medina University. Some of these folks are the leaders of da'wah when it comes to Al-Maghrib, when it comes to local initiatives. So all of these folks here, Sister Jiva, those will know from Discover You and from Al-Maghrib, the previous Amira. Uthman is one of the previous Amirs of London, Manchester, beg your pardon. Danish is the Amir of Calgary, in previous Amir of Calgary. Sister Maya is so involved in Toronto in the Al-Maghrib chapter there. Imtiaz, you'll see as part of Qabilat Shams in London, dealing with the regular seminars and classes. And for those who know, I'll be teaching the Divine Link in November in London. You'll see him there. Sister Nazia, again from Q Baraka in Manchester as well, and her experience. Abida running the show in Scotland for how many years? These are my most trusted people. Maysara, Russian Jess, for example. The AV team, you would have heard a lot about that, the rats that they are. They've obviously, currently we are having a divorce at the moment, but that's run by Ghassan and Arif and Danish, mashallah. And then you've got Naeem, who's running all this tech madness that you see. All of the they've now got rid of Hajj with AE, and it's now Hajj with AI. And it used to be a joke last year, and now it's actually real. He bloody recorded a video, and twice in the video he kept saying Hajj with AI, which I don't know whether it was by accident, but I think it was on purpose, just trying to send a message. We have Asif, who I trust beyond what should be happening. And then we have Umair, who I have absolutely no reason what he's doing here, but he's just there to make us look good. Look at that guy, mashallah, what a handsome black, mashallah, tabarak ar-Rahman. All right, this is a content portal. This is just a little peek. Some of you would have seen our Umrah video that's out there on social media. You will realize that's just a small example of the quality of our content. That's just one video out of 30. You have no idea what you're getting in this program. Program duration, folks, this is the expectation, plus minus 1-2 days. What you might say, why are you not sure? Because these dates are not in my pocket. They are dependent upon the biggest crooks in the world, who are the airlines, who will say one thing and do something else, so you never trust them. So plus minus 1 to 2 days on either end you should be aware of and be ready for. But May 14 coming back June 1st, 17-night program. That's our intention. Approximately 3 to 4 nights in Medina. Again, this is in the final stages of confirmation from Al-Bayt. Approximately 3 to 4 nights in Mecca. You will travel by train, although that's not so important. And then you move to our building called Base Camp, which you would have seen videos of, and you will see videos of over the next 1-2 weeks, the next 1-2 months. And then that period of time, 9 nights, 2 nights are going to be in Aziziyah, and the rest of the time is going to be in Mina and Arafah and Muzdalifah. But the great thing is that you will have access to Base Camp all that time. So all of your luggage, all of your everything, the stability will be there, and you'll see just how incredible this program will be. So we fly into Medina, fly out of Jeddah back to our respective countries. This is not meant to be for you to read, okay? It's intentionally tiny and small, but this gives you an idea of the activities that we do. All of these things, these purples and greens, are individual tours, talks. Like I said, the only the white parts are the actual Hajj rituals. So look at the 6 days in. This is Umrah, the white one in 6 days in. Then look at the Dua at Arafah, sleep in Muzdalifah, Tawaf al-Ifadah, Tawaf al-Ifadah, sleep. These white boxes are the actual Hajj parts. So now you understand why we say the Tarbiyah program. This is a life-changing program. This is aimed at trying to get you to fulfill all the things you've dreamed about, but were too scared about, too embarrassed about, too worried about. What would, so and so say. This is where you're in a non-judgmental environment, where you're going to realize just why the folks consider this to be the best Hajj experience possible. MashaAllah, Tabarak ar-Rahman. So that's just a little kind of insight. This is however many men that we could get into the thingy this year. Unfortunately, it's very, very difficult when you have 500 people. So we had to leave some people out. The space just wasn't big enough. This is our own base building. This is our musalla. And the girls, if you're feeling left out, don't be feeling left out. We've got you guys covered as well. And we didn't pay anybody. Let's see if there's anyone frowning, so we can then call them out on the group. Now, mashallah, they all look happy. They all look genuinely happy. By the way, I've got to say, fantastic photo. I'm pretty sure that I must have taken this. Nope, it can't be. It must have been Navy team. Okay, chalo. There's a few clips there. The left is the in-person for the seminar for those that can make it. And then these are just some of the activities. Obviously, everything done using technology. You might be seeing, these people, how they connected. They are connected by the incredible portal that is Telegram. And we will be streaming and we'll have various things that are happening. And believe me, you'll love it. Right, let's talk about prices, folks. We have no idea what the price is going to be this year. No idea. Let's read this together. This is actual facts now, 2025 total package prices. This is what they were last year. Okay, so this is inclusive, all said and done. There's all lots of little different things on Nusuk, but once it's all done, these are the prices, and it's obviously now run by the Saudi government. They sell it in Saudi riyals. The only thing that is not included in these prices, and correctly so, and even if the option is given this year for the sacrifice, we do not want to buy it from them. We want to do it ourselves, and you will see later in the game why that is. It's very, very important to our Hajj rituals that we are in control of the animals ourselves. And that's about 200 quid, $200, 200 quid, 180, 90, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was going to be. And obviously prices go up and down, but that's roughly what you should budget for the qurbani or the hadi or the udhiyah or whatever you want to call it. Okay, we'll come to that another time. But let's just understand the prices here. Straight off the bat, you can see, all right? And if you want to take a picture just so that you want to study or you want to take a screenshot, feel free. This is not private information. And I will be sharing this in our channel as well. Not that it's very important, but it gives people an idea, right? We think that, and now in the, I've got to tell you that on September the 10th, I wrote one of the most impressive posts ever in the Hajj 2026 channel. So again, if you're not there, then make sure you join the bot via the bot right now. Someone shared the link to the bot. And if you are there, go back to September 10th, because there's no way that I could present now anything better than what I've put in that chat, where I've explained how the prices went up and down. So I'm looking at it right now, and I've written, on average, in the 3 years of Nusuk, it has been roughly 4 to 8% increase in price on the previous year. 2025 prices, were 6% more expensive than 2024, but that was for a quadrum, whereas a double price was 3%, right? So on average, it's 4 to 8%, and that's why you should expect it to be 5 to 10%. And it's good to think worst case scenario. So you should think 10%. And if it ends up being 2, 3%, you're buzzing, aren't you? It's an absolute result. But I'm also going to throw another situation in. So let's look at these prices. Let's just look at Manchester at the bottom, okay? UK Manchester, right? No, let's not look at Manchester. Let's go to London. Why is London the cheapest? London is the cheapest for 2 reasons. Out of all of these 4 cities, it's the closest to Medina. So that factors in, obviously. But secondly, it's because it has the largest service providing, right? Its taxes are less and it has the most options. So flying from London is the cheapest, but also flying from Toronto is the most expensive. And, that's not a surprise. 2 reasons. Toronto is flipping miles away, number one. Number two, Toronto has hardly any flights to Saudi. Very, very restricted market. Therefore, a monopoly on the few people that are there. Therefore, they can charge more. So immediately know about that dynamic, that where you come from is going to change the price of your package. So Toronto is always going to be the most expensive. London is always going to be the most cheap. That's the first thing. The second is if you go across. So you can see, if you look at Toronto, look at the difference, 52,600 riyals if you were taking one place in a double room, right? So if there's a husband and wife, they're going to end up paying 105,200 riyals, if my maths is correct. 2 times 52,600. Does that make sense? That's including the ticket, by the way. It's including all the everything. That was this year, 2025. All right. So 52,600. Now, if you look at, let's just use Manchester as an example. If you were one person, a single guy or a single girl, right, that were going, and you wanted the cheapest and the best experience, I'm always saying take a quad single price. They are the ones who have the best quality Hajj. Going in there with like-minded people sharing, and I know there's a massive fear, who's it going to be? In our group, you don't have to worry about that, because our group attracts only a very certain type of person. You're going to have the best time, and you will see now people in the chat, and in the channel when we open it up for comments and stuff, sharing that validation, that social validation as well. So don't be too scared. But I'm just going to give you an example. 47,471 riyals was what it cost this year to go to Hajj. 47,471. Now, 47,471. I just want to just do this in my calculator. When the people were buying that, okay, so when the folks from Manchester and Birmingham and Scotland that had chosen the Manchester option because that's the closest airport, when they were buying that in January and February of 2025 this year, right? In January and February, when they were buying that to go to Hajj in May 2025 at a cost of £47,471, they ended up paying, right? For divided by 4 let's just say 6. Okay, that was costing them, for example, 10,320 quid, 10,320 pounds. If they were buying that today, the same price, okay, it would be 9,381 pounds. That's not exactly right. That's a couple of days ago. It is £1,000 cheaper buying it right now because of the strength of the pound. Because in January, there was 4.6 odd riyals to the pound. Right now, it's been between 4.96, 5.02, 5.06. I was there in Saudi a couple of weeks ago. It was 5.08 or something crazy, right? Imagine the pound is that strong. It's now suffered a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but who knows what it's going to be in January time. If inshallah the pound is strong at about 5.06 and whatever, Hajj is not actually going to be more expensive by 5-10%. It might be cheaper by 5%. I am only putting this out to you to show you that you sitting there stressing over the price is a waste of time. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how much the Saudis are going to increase it, whether Al-Bayt are going to increase or decrease their profit margin, because these are the key factors, right? The Saudis are going to increase their, no doubt, they're going to play games and going to add new costs and make more money. And then the Hajj provider themselves is going to maybe increase or decrease their profit margin. And that's a dynamic decision as it goes on as well. And then the exchange rate, folks, the exchange rate. And then there's small things that I can help you control. For example, the way that you transfer that money. So if you listen to me, I'm going to make sure you do it for free, right? And if you're going to be some dumb guy who's going to do it by themselves and say, no, we don't trust him, we're going to go via our own bank, and you end up paying 1% commission fee to the bank, then that's your own foolish move, isn't it, right? So again, it's about trusting the process all the way through. I'll be saying, don't pay any money, don't pay any money, don't pay any money. Then I'll be releasing like this. Look here. I'm actually giving you the various banks to use. Why? Do I get a commission from these banks? No. Does it make it any easier for me? No. But we know through our 3 years now of this Nusuk nonsense that there are certain banks that win, certain ones that don't. And the fact is that you're going to be thinking about what gives the best foreign exchange rate. So in the UK, we are loving it. We are loving it because this fintech industry has led to all these digital banks like Starling, Revolut, Monzo, and Tide, and Chase, and all the rest of it. And they normally use MasterCard rates. It's their big thing. And they also have very, very minimal fees or no fees, but they are still different. They are not all the same. So you want to make sure that you've got these certain factors. USA, Canada, unfortunately, they don't have these kind of ease, and you're restricted, but it is what it is. You're just going to have to deal with it. All right. Again, we will advise you, and we will have a new set of payment recommendations for this year. Again, folks, be patient. All of these tips we're going to be explaining in all good time. So that's it, folks. That's Milad, mashallah, making dua. Sick guy. I just noticed that, Danish. That's a nice photo. That was one of the Hujjaj from this year. Your important steps is to pause from the logistical expertise that we have and realize that this is all down in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you do not make dua for this sincerely, you're not going anywhere. You think and plan, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans. So if you really want it, then you will ask Allah for it, and you will start making dua. And we'll be spending a lot of time on the dua technique, because that is exactly what the Hajj is all about. You need to join the Telegram bot, as we've told you 1,000 times, and you've seen in the chat. When I tell you later on this week or next week to get registered and verify the Nusuk, you'll do that. When I tell you to start adding funds, and that's going to be in December, then you start doing that. And in the meantime, get yourself excited and motivated. Go and watch some of the content that we've produced, and yani, let it blow your mind, because the quality is next level and the accuracy is great as well. And that's the most important one at the bottom there. To trust the process, and let us eat what we enjoy. This stress is what keeps us yani, alive. It's running through our veins. The anxiety, the stress, the tension, but also the fact that we know that we are better than the system, that we're going to crack the system, and we've done it for 3 years. We've been the most successful program. Imagine that. There are thousands of packages. There are hundreds upon, maybe probably 1,000 plus different companies and partners. And little old us come along and say, hold on, Zamzam. And we just went and smashed that door down. We're not a company, we're not a travel agency, we're not a business, we're not anything of any sort. And yet what we have brought to the game is a level of ihsan and itqan, because we see a bigger picture than the Hajj. We see a bigger objective than the Hajj. So let us take that stress away and stay positive, folks. Stay positive. All right. So that, folks, is the presentation. I hope that it was useful. I know that there'll be people that will be like, man, what on earth am I doing here? What's going on? Well, actually, sometimes you're going to have to be in these kind of events or webinars and the like. And that's it. I've actually knackered myself out. And what if I tell you that I can't even find the screen? Oh, yeah, here I am. All right. So, folks, I hope that was of some use, inshallah. And the questions that you have, I hope that you've been putting them down in the whatever. I haven't had an opportunity to view all of the thingy. The only one I've just seen is, I'm confused. Do we pay 80 or via Nusuk? You definitely pay me. Pay me into my personal bank account. Sick guy, legend. What a guy. Muhammad, you can come again. You know, don't ever pay any individual, bro. All right. There's no paying anybody. All right. But I couldn't resist. All right. This is all happening via Saudi government, all secure and all the rest. All right. Let's take a few questions. Naeem, what do you think? Do we think we've got time to give the mic to some people or what? That's going to be too much of a difficulty.
We're pushing 10 o'clock now as well, Sheikh. It's up to you. You can take a few if you want.
So okay, that's fine. What we're going to do, folks, is I think what's best is that you can feel free to put the thingy. You know what? You say, can you pay in cash? Take the answer as no. Some people will tell you yes. So, folks, you know what? Type your questions, and I'm going to do some really quick answers. Okay. Some people will say to you that you can pay in cash. You must not pay in cash. What you're going to do with that cash is give it to someone that can, and it's very easy. You'll go and find a family member or a friend and say, here's the £10,000. I'm going to put it in your account. Can you credit my e-wallet? Your e-wallet is essentially it's a wallet. It's like a gift card kind of thing. You know, it's like an Amazon gift card. You basically put money into it. It has a value. And what it means is that when it comes to checkout, it just immediately takes the money out. There's no delay in having to check with your bank account, enter the code, blah, blah, blah. It's a fantastic addition to Nusuk. The prices will be roughly known at the end of December. Okay, there are refunds. The refund, what it means by refunds is that you put the money in your e-wallet, and then when you are successful or not after the end of the Hajj season, they then return the money back to you, but they do take a 1.5% or something like that admin charge. Saudis, I mean, the Saudi government. Okay, meningitis vaccine is a requirement. Okay, COVID is not. The most important thing, folks, don't keep an eye on the bot. Activate the bot. End up in the Hajj channel. If you are in the Hajj channel, you're going to see a picture from me, and you'll know that you are in. In fact, if you are not seeing this, folks, right? And this is my standard response to all folks that are grateful. And a lot of people said, Jazakumullah khair, and people said, thank you for what a nice presentation. This is my response. Okay, right there. That's my normal response. And if you are seeing that response in the channel, you are in the right place. And if you have not seen my response, folks, okay, 52 of you have, I can see 63 of you have, 71 have, 80 have. If you did, 92 people have. I can see the figures. If you, 103 of you, 108 of you have not seen it, you're not in the right place. And if you're seeing it, then you are. And how do you get to that channel? Through the bot. And soon what's going to happen is that this channel is going to then become a chat as well. Very restricted, certain set hours that are going to allow you to ask all these questions that you're asking here. And then I will then respond to you and the team will be responding to you. And I know that you are stressed. There's so many questions, but I just wanted, you know what this was? If you want to really know what this was a show of our strength. I told the team this earlier on. This is us flexing. Yani, to use road speak, this is us flexing, showing you of exactly who you're dealing with. We are number one for a reason. The tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the recognition of our program and the barakah that it has gained is off the charts. You are in the safest hands possible. There is nothing that we haven't thought about or covered. And anything that comes which is new that we haven't covered, we'll be ready for it better than anybody else will be. But please listen to me. You have to trust the process. You've got to follow instructions. And if you try to do it yourself, you try to be clever, or you try to be impatient, then you are going to suffer. Okay. So once you've registered with the bot, then you will be given a link and then it will then be sent, then you will be pushed into the thingy. And just remember, everybody, if there is a what's it called, a problem in the bot, then I want you to do /start. Just type this and it will reset everything and it will allow you to get back into the bot, to get back into the channel, because some people do get a bit stuck. And if you are still stuck and you need an emergency kind of situation because you can't get in and you're not seeing the legend Simon Pegg himself, then this is wrong again. Tayyiba, this is not the right one. You have to go through the bot. So not the link that Tayyiba has put. It's this link, yeah, exactly what Umair has put down. All right, not the one that Tayyiba put down, the thingy link. And it's very important because if you get into the channel without the bot, you will not then be able to get the right strategies specifically for your application in your city. It is very, very important. Okay, so you've just seen us put it again and again and again. That is the right link that we've got there that Naeem has put it in. Yeah, in 2022 you was in the Mutawif program. That is not Nusuk. Okay, that's right. Hajj with AE 2026 bot. And if you have already registered on Nusuk app, it has nothing to do with it, like I said at the beginning. So those folks who missed the beginning of this where I answered some of these questions, just watch the recording. I'm going to post it in the channel. And when the bot says that you've registered successfully, then you are in the right place. Like I said, you are in the right place if you can see my Simon Pegg GIF in the thing. But if you've got a problem with your app, with the bot, sorry, just press this, everybody. Again, it just worked for Fahmida, alhamdulillah, right? Yeah, okay, it's not a GIF, it's a GIF. That type that into the bot. Well done, Hamza, well spotted. Can't believe you're going to start that fitna again. The hashtag start, put that into the bot window if you're stuck. Okay, I'll just do one or two more questions and then we're going to call it. Can you speak about going to Hajj via Pakistan? I did already. I do not advise it for multiple reasons. It is not stable. It is not the a lot of people were not able to get the right documents, and the numbers are going to be taken away. The Saudis are going to cut down on that as well because they know that people are circumventing Nusuk, etc. Do not do it. Most important is that there are two types of people. There are people who just want to go to Hajj, and they either want to just go to Hajj because they want to get it over and done with, or because they don't have enough money, or because they're not very practicing. They just, whatever it is, and they just want like some kind of if I do Hajj, then that will be the solution to my problems. That's one group of people. And then there's us. You're here because you're looking for a very specific experience. You are here because you recognize that this was never about the Hajj in the first place, that the Hajj journey that your whole family and friends have been telling you is what should happen towards the end is actually the very beginning of a process and a relationship and the like, which you must understand is what the real meaning behind Hajj is. This is what is so sad about the people who just go and do Hajj. And so therefore, when people are going to ask me questions, what do I think about that person? What do I think about Hajj doing there? Whatever, whatnot, I'm obviously going to trash it. Actually, I'm being extremely calm and polite. I think everything else should be trashed compared to this program. Okay. Sorry, Maureen, I did see your question earlier on, but I forgot to answer it about Ireland. Ireland is a very interesting scenario, and it will come under the UK thingy, the UK kind of numbers. And we had some Irish with us, so you're in the right place, and we will deal with that. We will give you the exact advice on which passport, how, whatever. But yeah, all people with British passports have got nothing to worry about, or American passports or Canadian passports, regardless of where you live. It's not about where you live. There are many expats that are going to come with us that are living in Qatar and Doha and Ireland and X and Y and Z. It's about the actual passport itself. Okay, so that's that. And I think, yeah, the most important thing, folks, right, is to feel relaxed, to have confidence that you're in safe hands, to know that in the right moment, the chat version of this channel is going to open. And then you're going to be able to answer these questions without time pressure. You get what I'm trying to say? And everyone will be answered. And the other very important thing is that respond to the phone calls and the emails you're receiving from my team. All of my team are as knowledgeable as I am, and some more and more knowledgeable. Actually, some of them are far more knowledgeable in some of the areas that you guys are asking, right? Because I've got to focus on a lot of different things. And so some of the questions that you have, take the opportunity when you've got them. They're more than willing to help. Like, what did I say to you? My team is the best because of their passion to help people. The rest is all a bonus. So they've either already called you, and if you haven't received the phone call, then get ready. It will be a withheld number. So take it as it is, or receive a phone call on Telegram. Answer those as well. Sometimes we'll call you on Telegram directly. If we get through to your voicemail, then we might send you an email, or if we're not getting any responses from you, whatever, whatnot. We try our best, but we can't keep on trying if you're not picking up phone calls and stuff. So be ready for that. Ask the people the time. Like I said to you, we are not people who hide away from this system. Okay, folks. And I've been asked a question that people, some have gone, some haven't gone with me before. Should we all be going? Yes. So if you've got a family unit that are of different experiences, it doesn't matter. A person can go Hajj 10 times and then they come with us and they realize that they've not done Hajj properly at all. That's the fact. All right. So in your case, sister, I'm not going to say your name. I guarantee that your brother, just make sure that when he does Hajj with us, inshallah, with you, and then you ask him to compare what happened to him last time, he's going to be so depressed about last time, but so grateful that he got it done properly. All right. And Day is saying that I'm confused when it comes to the e-wallet. Who are we paying? You are actually going to be paying yourself. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but what happens is that when you register and your account gets verified, your account is yours. It's like your Amazon account, and you will have a wallet which is entirely yours. And you and only you can put money. Well, no, not you, but it will have a sort code, an account number. It will have actual details, and you can give that to people. So you can give that to your friends and family, and they can put the money in it for you, or you can. And that money nobody else can access except you. It's stuck in your wallet. And then when the sales, this is based, obviously it's online, but it's the Saudi government that are holding the money. And then when the time comes to pay, bam, you press the pay button, and then you can pay. And you'll have about a month to keep putting the money in installments, so you don't need to put the full money in only one installment. All right, folks. So again, folks, all right, I know that you have so many questions. Don't worry, we are so ahead of the curve here. Like, other people haven't even thought about a Hajj webinar or opening up their Hajj group. We've already done both, and we're going to do more as well. Be patient, trust the process. When we say to you, do this, do that, join this, click that, just do it. Everybody who's here should be on the Hajj bot. We'll see you in the channel. Barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullahu khairan wa subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك اللهم وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good evening, folks.